You know, I meant to get this out yesterday, but had to go to the old dentist, and I decided let's wait and do this when it doesn't feel like pulling teeth. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back with another TBR, this time for February of 2024. So guys, this is where things start to change up a little bit, because I did say a new process I was doing this year is I was only committing to book one of a new series, and then I would kind of go from there. So this is the first time since I started this channel that I don't think I have my TBR plan for like the next 12 to 15 months. So it's all new territory for me, but we're going to go ahead and get into this. I want to say up front, guys, there will be a light spoiler warning. I am really just reading the back covers of these books. So what I talk about might not be the beginning of the series. Now, I go through and I proofread these to make sure I'm not going to break anything for you. If you have, out of context, not really going to mean much to you. But just in case, I like to warn everybody so I don't get accused of ruining your life. That's what I do here. I ruin people's lives. Now, I want to say up front, this is going to be a little tentative because this is the shortest month of the year. And of course, I have overscheduled like I always do. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what these first two are about because they're continuations from last month. Shogun by James Clavell and Blackwater by Michael McDowell. These are ones I'm doing over a course of several months. I'll be doing part 3 of Shogun. I did part 1 and 2 in January, and I'll be doing volume 2 of Blackwater, which is called The Levy. And I did volume 1, which was The Flood, last month. So that'll just be kind of continuing here. I'll be finishing Blackwater not until June because I'm doing 1 volume out of 6 volumes per month. And then Shogun will be finishing up in March with parts 4, 5, and 6. So that's why I'm not going to really let you guys know the whole synopsis and all that stuff. Watch last month's TBR if you really want to know what those are about. And if you don't know by now what Shogun is about, I don't know if I can help you here because you should know what Shogun is about. So first up, if you didn't catch the little short that I did or what I mentioned it in the weekly update, guys, I did like the first book in Threadlight. So I'm going to be continuing with that. And this month, that's going to be book number 2, which is called Stones of Light. This is that beautiful omnibus Kickstarter edition I think more people are starting to get now. Really, really great. And it's a lot of fun reading through this because it's just one of the most handsome books that I do own now. But as far as Storms of Light, I really, really liked Voice of War. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I think just because I'd heard so many mixed things on it. And now that I've done it, I feel like I can understand why. Because I do know that, like, while in most cases I would say, hey, fans of like a Brandon Sanderson or a Brian McKellen would probably like this, but I also know that those fandoms are very, very protective of the artist, and they feel like anything that might be considered derivative of that nature, they turn against it. So it's one of those where it's kind of hard for me to recommend it necessarily, just kind of depending on you. To me, I love something like Mistborn. I loved the magic system and something like Lightbringer, you know, and I feel like it kind of has a lot of those things into it, but it feels like it has a lot of original stuff in it as well. But when it comes to saying, hey, that feels a little derivative, I mean, I like that stuff. Give me some more of it if it's being done respectfully and it don't feel like, well, I've already done this before. No, I mean, that series has kept me guessing already. But Stones of Light is book number 2. And what is it about, you ask? Well, Chris swore never again to let his dark side take control. But in a moment of desperation, he gave in. And now he will learn what it truly wants. In Alkea, Laurel will do anything to get her Threadlight back, even if it means working for the leader of the Blood Thieves. But she has no choice. A life without Threadlight is no life at all. And to the west, Alvarax travels with the Zeta people to the large port city of Phalia, where they seek refuge. But after his recent actions, no one quite knows what the consequences will be. They only know that it won't be good. Together, they change the world. Now, they must save it. So a middle book in a trilogy is always the wild card. You know, in very rare cases, it is the best book in the series. In most cases, it seems like it's the kind of the, well, you know, it's just kind of the setup book. We always hope it's an Empire Strikes Back, but, you know, more times than not, it's not. So, I mean, just kind of go into it with those checked expectations. But like I said, I like the first one enough. I feel like I've gotten introduced to the character and the world and the magic system now. Now is when I feel like the main storyline is going to kind of unfold. And I'm very anxious to know what in the world is going on with Alvarax. So that's kind of the key here going into it. Next up, guys, this is one I think that I've gotten recommended about 400 times since I started this channel. And it's fans of Joe Abercrombie, it's fans of The Last War by Mike Shackle. They've all said that you love that specific style of grimdark. And I think I got the series for you guys. That is Priest of Bones. which is War for the Rose Throne, book number 1. This, again, I can't think of a series I haven't read up to this point that's gotten recommended to me more. I can't even talk about First Law without someone bringing this up. I think when I talked about the Greenbone saga, I got a lot of people bringing this up, saying that it was very much like the R-rated, hard R-rated version of Greenbone. Not that I thought Greenbone was light or anything, but apparently this is way more mature. Apparently this has a lot of those seething reviews, I guess you call them, on Goodreads about the content in it. And usually when I see that, I say, give me some of that. Because if it's upsetting people this much, then it's got to be something that, you know, might not make you feel real good inside. And occasionally, guys, I like that feeling. That's why I love the grimdark subgenre. But apparently this is right there at it. Not crazy with the fact that apparently it is first-person narrative. It really is a hard sell for me. Unless you're like Pierce Brown, I don't feel like very many have done it in a way that I really like it. I am very excited about this, though, guys, because this is one of the most anticipated series that I'm picking up this year. I've been putting it off for a long time, and I'm excited that they're not, you know, 900 pages. That's very exciting. It's a completed series, but like I said, that new rule that I'm using, I promised to do book 1. That's what I'm going to do here. But Priest of Bones, guys, what is this one about? Well, the war is over, and the army priest Thomas Piety heads home. But things have changed while he was away. His crime empire has been stolen, and his people have run out of food and hope and places to hide. Thomas sets out to reclaim what was his with the help from his new gang, the Pious Men. But when he finds himself dragged into a web of political intrigue once again, everything gets more complicated. As the Pious Men fight shadowy foreign infiltrators in the backstreet taverns, brothels, and gambling dens of Thomas's old life, it becomes clear the war is just beginning. So I think the big comparison I get, guys, is Peaky Blinders, a show on Netflix I've never watched. So go ahead and drop in there and tell me why I'm crazy. I haven't watched that yet. I've seen the memes and all that kind of stuff about it, but I don't know anything about it. It's got a great cast. I probably should watch it. There's a lot of shows I just don't have time to watch because I read, guys. But this one, yeah, I get a lot of Peaky Blinders. I get a lot of Greenbone comparisons. I get a lot of Godfather. Apparently, it is fantasy, but it's very much a different type of fantasy where, you know, low magic, very much gritty ground level. And I think that sounds awesome. I mean, this sounds really cool. I mean, just the synopsis alone has me very excited about it. And I can't wait to finally dip into it here very soon. So I hope I do love it. That way, you know, I know what I'm going to be reading in March and April and May. You know, that's what I'm hoping to do here. Because like I said, it is a 4-book series. It is complete, and none of them are terribly long. And yeah, that's very exciting. Very exciting to get into a new series. It's not only complete, but they're not all just giant, massive tomes. It's always very exciting. This one I don't have a physical of yet because it's not out yet. I'm talking about Trials of Empire by Richard Swan. I do have a digital e-arc copy, and I'll be diving in that soon. But it was such a hard time for me getting approved for book number 2 last year. I didn't put it in my schedule to have room for it. And then I got approved for this one like right away. And said, well, crap, it might be closer to actual release date now. And February 6th is the release date. So I'll probably be reading this, you know, right as it releases with all of you guys. And that's great because I like to be able to talk to you guys about it anyway. But I love the first book of Empire of the Wolf. Justice of Kings was just phenomenal. The second book had some things that I wasn't crazy about. And I actually told Richard this on the channel. And he understands. He understands it. I think that what's great about Richard, not only is he my favorite Harkonnen, but he's also just such an understanding guy that when I say something like that, he doesn't think I'm attacking him. He says, oh, well, I can see how that didn't work for everybody. But there was plenty of that book that I did like, and I'm anxious to see where he's headed because I do feel like he's leaning a bit more into the horror, a little bit more into the Eldritch vibes, little Lovecrafty stuff going on, and that's very exciting. So I'm hoping that there's more of that and less of a couple of those subplots that I didn't like in book number 2. But what is book number 3, the Trials of Empire, about? Well, the time of judgment is at hand. The Empire of the Wolf is on its knees, but there's life in the great beast yet. To save it, Sir Conrad von Vogt and Helena must look beyond its borders for allies. But old grievances run deep, and many factions would benefit from the fall of Sova. Their enemies wield infernal powers bestowed on him by a mysterious demonic patron. If von Vogt and Helena are to stand against him, they will need friends on both sides of the mortal plane. But such allegiances carry a heavy price. As the battle lines are drawn in both Sova and the afterlife, the final reckoning draws close. Here, at the beating heart of the Empire, the two-headed wolf will be reborn in a blaze of justice, or crushed beneath the shadow of tyranny. And that will be wrapping up, guys, the Empire of the Wolf. Very excited. Only thing better than a series that's already complete is a series that's just a trilogy, because I feel like so many series now got to be like 8, 9 books. So I respect Richard for sticking to his guns. Not only is it just going to be a trilogy, but he didn't do one of those things where book number 3 is like the size of 3 books, you know, because he didn't know how to end it. Seems like it always kind of goes that way, but I'm excited because Richard is one of those type of authors. He will write the complete story and then kind of whittle it down and release it, you know, 1 year apart, so everything's just perfect. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he does wrap it up, because this guy's a very, very good writer. Lastly, guys, this is going to be a first-time author for me, one that I've gotten recommended several times, and I've never really dipped into, is Larry Correia. Now, when I talked to Jim Butcher, and I told him I'm upset that I'm finally at the point of Dresden Files where I've got to wait with everybody else, he recommended a few series to me. One he recommended the most to me was Monster Hunter. But I don't know. I just haven't gotten to that one because I think I wanted to do Alex Verus first. Is kind of my Dresden Files replacement. So I never really got into Monster Hunter. But the one series that I keep hearing so much about, guys, is the Saga of the Forgotten Warrior. And I'm talking about the Son of the Black Sword. Now, I'm excited about this not only because I've never read Larry Correia, but everyone who has actually read this series just gushes about how great it is. And I don't know what to expect. I kind of read the synopsis here, and I'll read for you in a second. And it's not at all what I would have expected. But I know that there's lots of people like Larry Correia, he can be kind of brash in real life. He's some people, he rubs some people the wrong ways, put it that way. So a lot of people I know have said they were going to read this series just so they could make fun of it. And then apparently they read it and said, damn, it's just really good. I can't. You know, to me, that's great. If you go into something with your arms crossed and it completely blows you away, that means, hey, whoa, this guy must be doing something right. Well, look, Larry Correia, he's an incredibly fast writer, and he's got tons of books, and he has a big, big fandom. So he must be doing something right. But this series comes so highly recommended by people that I know and I trust, and they tell me I'm going to like it. So I'm expecting to. But like I said, I'm expecting to just try. I'm committing to one book, like I always say now, and I'm going to just do this one book and see how it works for me. And since it's not complete, I don't know that I would be doing one a month leading up. He does say he wants the series to be finished about this time next year. So I think we can kind of space that out. It's going to be 5 books in total. But yeah, as for the first book here, guys, this is Son of the Black Sword. What is this one about? Well, after the War of the Gods, the demons were cast out and fell to the world. Mankind was nearly eradicated by the seemingly unstoppable beasts until the gods sent a great hero. He united the tribes, gave them magic, and drove the demons into the sea. Ever since, the land has belonged to man, and the oceans have remained an uncrossable hell, leaving the continent isolated. It was prophesied that someday the demons would return, and only the descendants of the hero would be able to defeat him. They became the first kings, and all men served those who were their only hope for survival. As centuries passed, the descendants of the great hero grew in number and power, but they became tyrannical and cruel, and their religion nothing but an excuse for greed. Gods and demons became myth and legend, and the people no longer believed. All religion was banned and replaced by a code of unflinching law. ℚ𝕗𝕗 has been chosen as protector, the elite militant order of roving law enforcers. No one is more merciless in rooting out those who secretly practice the old ways. Everything is black or white, good or evil, until he discovers his entire life is a fraud, and its consequences could lead to rebellion, war, and destruction. So again, I wasn't expecting anything quite like this. I really don't know what I was expecting. I don't know. I guess I was just expecting more traditionalist fantasy, just the way that it was recommended to me. This sounds like it's definitely doing its own thing. Maybe a little bit of like Malazan, and they're kind of playing with the gods thing. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what to expect, except like I said, Larry Correia does have a very, very passionate fan base, and I'm hoping that I do become one of them. I'm going to continue doing Percy Jackson with my kid. We're about halfway through Son of Neptune right now. That's book 2 in the Heroes of Olympus. But outside of that, I'm on a pause right now with One Piece until Philip gets caught up. But that's really all I got going on this month. It's a lot. It really is. It doesn't seem like it, you know, because this video is usually a lot longer, but I didn't read the synopses for Shogun or Blackwater. Again, go back and check out January's if you want to know what those 2 series are about. But I'm excited to continue all these. Anytime you're getting some new series, I'm starting 2 new series this month. That's exciting, and resuming something as great as Shogun was. I can't wait to do it, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. But I'd be curious what you guys are reading. I hope I can finish all these in February, but if I don't, hey, you know what? Something will slide into March. It happens. Why pressure ourselves, right? So drop in the comments, guys. Let me know if you're going to read any of these with me. I would love to have you along. Jump on the Discord. We'll probably start a thread for some of these if enough people are interested. But drop down there, let me know what you guys are going to read in February, and I will talk to you there.